Man's neck snapped by Butcher. And his girlfriend is playing trampoline in front of him without knowing it. The next second, the knife appears from below. The girl didn't even have time to find out what stabbed herself. So she was sent to the West several times in a row. The butcher who killed 2 people still refuses to give up. He strangled the girl's brother with a rope. I saw the butcher turn hard and pull the wire. The man reached out in an instant, and after the accident, the butcher put the man's head again. The goal is to use the corpses of these people to make a feast of human flesh. But now he's one dish away. The fat lady in the restaurant in front of you is the last course. As he was about to leave work, he saw a familiar mask placed on the table. The next second, he was strangled by the butcher. The butcher slashes with a knife. Under the light hit of the eldest sister, she can only resist with her hands. Then he was pushed into the sink. The butcher opened the cold storage door and pressed the eldest sister's face on it. Wet skin instantly sticks. The butcher takes the axe. The eldest sister endured the pain and tore her skin before escaping the fatal blow. He quickly fled the restaurant and ran out the door, and the lights went on outside. The butcher has already run out 1 step ahead and hit him with the accelerator. The panicked aunt tried to get into the trash can to avoid. As a result, the waste was cut off by the heavy lid. Then the butcher brushes the sauce all over the woman's body from head to toe. When he woke up, he found himself being served to the table. Filled with fear, he could only continue to play dead. When the butcher turns around, the woman immediately hides. The angry butcher picked up a fork and searched for the woman in the corner, startled by the corpse falling on the side. He almost let out a scream. The butcher, who heard the movement, came to check. Little did he know that the woman had shifted her position and hid in the crack of the door behind him. Women who respond quickly often escape death. He trotted up to the 2nd floor, but found that the windows here were all sealed, and there's a dead body in the fridge. He was about to check when he was startled. I heard the butcher come upstairs. He told the girl not to make a sound. Looking at the blood on the ground, the butcher knew the woman was hiding nearby. But he didn't know that the other party was attacking the Four Seasons around the corner with a wine bottle. But the butcher didn't look further. Just when the woman was confused, the jet lag suddenly stabbed us. When the woman opened her eyes again, she found herself stuffed into the oven. The surrounding tin will sizzle when touched. Then the butcher opened the oven to check. The woman kept begging him for mercy, in exchange for a merciless shot. Turns out the butcher thought he was too noisy and gave him an injection of anesthesia. The woman who survived the pain finally fell asleep under the influence of anesthesia. Everyone at the dinner table was scared to pee, because they are all women's families. What awaits them will only be more perverted torture. And he takes the hammer and he puts it on his daughter and he hits him on the head. Others saw it and almost threw up. The heroine suddenly remembered that there were spikes on her ring. He slit the rope and handed the ring to the strong black brother. Breaking free, he immediately launched a counterattack. But the butcher took the axe at hand. The two can only run away. In the end, Brother Hay bought the heroine time to escape. He can escape the claws by breaking through the forest and breaking out of the fence. But then the bracelet got stuck. Finally, the heroine fled to the police station, since everyone is home for Thanksgiving. Only the sheriff is still on duty here. The heroine suddenly saw the hedgehog weed on the sheriff's leg. He has it on his legs. The heroine clearly remembers that this is an escape from the forest stone being glued. He immediately guessed that the sheriff was the murderer. And his strangeness was also detected by the detective. I saw him lock the door and put on gloves. I plan to get rid of the heroine completely. Critical moment. The heroine's boyfriend smashed the window and came. 3 people immediately scuffled together. Finally, the heroine blows up the hydrogen tank with 1 shot. Directly blew the sheriff to ashes. But they never thought, the sheriff is not dead at all. He took advantage of the fire to put out the fire, disguised as a firefighter, and escaped quietly. And then one night, the heroine was awakened by an ominous premonition. She went to check the lockers at home. Fortunately, I thought too much. But then the sheriff, who was on fire, suddenly paid. The heroine was instantly awakened. Fortunately, it was just a dream. The next second,